my suggestion is to come up with 3 key messages, a couple of key messages that you want the reporter to remember after taking this interview. So if you know that you've done this successfully, if when you go back and you open up the story and the 3 messages that you have written down in front of you have been illustrated in the article that the reporter has now delivered. So ask yourself, what are some of the communications objectives that I want to achieve here? What do I want my audience to know about my product or my service? Also it's important to understand who your interviewer is writing to, who's the audience, and does this audience align with the audience that I want to get in front of? This will really be able to this will really help you tailor your message to this particular audience, and it also makes it easier for the interviewer because they realize that the information you're providing them is relevant and you're not coming in from left field. So when we talk about message development, you want to keep it short and to the point, and like I said, I'll give you an example of a couple. Make sure that you're very clear. Your message tells a story about what you do and can be understood by just about anyone. You want to avoid using industry jargon or something or terms that are very industry related that may not be as obvious to an outsider. So, with those, I know you went through these in detailed and thorough. So with that, I want to jump right into just some interview techniques. And,
I'm just going to jump in and actually talk about your last point. I think we often forget how much we know when you're saying, can be understood by just about anyone and avoiding jargon. We assume that everybody's going to know, what we talk about. And I know, for example, if you're working with technology, sometimes you just, have this knowledge that you've had for years, for example, and you don't even realize that people don't know what that is. So it's almost like when you're doing an interview, it's better to start from the basics, and then if the reporter understands or if he feels that the audience understands what you're talking about, he's going to ask you deeper questions. But never assume that they know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, so, we're going to go right into the interview techniques. One thing to understand about an interview is that the questions from a reporter shouldn't appear to be very linear. When you speak with the media, you want to take this circular approach where they ask you a question and you don't just answer the question, but you answer it, bridging it back to your message and your key points.